In today's episode, we'll show you some tricks for a perfect ombre. We'll show you how to protect cuticles from getting stained, what products to use so that the ombre is more saturated, and what to do to never be bothered with specks and impurities left by the sponge. Hi, my name is Connie, and this is a channel dedicated to the art of nail styling. Today, we'll show you our tricks for perfect ombre nails. Products and tools we'll use in today's episode are gel polishes in Neon and Bambina Mandarina. We'll also need cuticle gum, Mr. Gum, X-type tweezers, Mi Ombre sponges, purple extension forms, Master Nail Art 006 brush and Fashion Clear. Ombre is the most popular nail styling technique. If we type ombre into Instagram, I'm curious how many hits we'd get. I think it must be at least several million options. Ombre is a combination of two colors with a tonal gradient between them. The aim is to create the smoothest transition possible because that's when an ombre is at its best. Today, we'll learn how to do just that. Our model's nails have been prepped off camera. We trim the cuticles and use the light rose gel to create an almond extension. The first trick is to apply a protective product to the cuticles. We apply Mr. Gum and wait a few minutes for it to dry. Anyone who practiced ombre, especially a few years ago, knows very well that staining the cuticles and nail walls takes only a second in this technique. This is why we created a product called Mr. Gum, which we place on the cuticles to protect them from getting dirty. Because, as you know, dirty cuticles are a problem. Even just because light curing products should not be in contact with the skin. And cured dirty cuticles is a different level of hell because it's almost impossible to clean them without causing pain. We also mentioned nail walls, which, when dirty, will simply take ages to get to a stage where the client can go home. Using Mr. Gum will rid us of this problem, so we won't have to waste our time on any cleanup jobs, and we can ombre to our heart's content, knowing the whole area around the nail will remain clean. The second trick is to work with a mini ombre sponge placed in an X-type tweezer. We place a correctly trimmed sponge in the tweezer. The sponge should be cut evenly. When we use such a duo, we become more precise in our stamping. We know exactly, consciously, where we're stamping on such a small surface, that is the nail plate, or even on a tiny fragment of this nail. If we insert the sponge askew or too high, we'll minimize its work surface, making it hard to execute a proper ombre and leaving us exhausted. Before commencing work, we should always clean the sponge from any impurities. To do this, we will need a nail extension form to clean it from any specks, even if it's already been used and is covered in current shades. We clean it gently so that the glue from the form doesn't damage the sponge's structure and just removes any impurities. Time to create our ombre. We apply the Neon shade meticulously by the cuticles. We cover the other half of the nail with Bambina Mandarina. We drive it as close as possible towards the pink shade. We start working with the sponge. We place it parallel to the nail surface and blend the color in the middle section of the nail. We dab a few times in one place, then move, in turn, left and right. If we have way too much product under the sponge, we can remove the excess by pressing the sponge against a lint-free pad. We then need to clean the sponge again and continue blending till we achieve a gentle color transition. We shade to the sides, then move the sponge up and down. A third shade should start forming in the middle. The fourth trick is to sprinkle the uncured layer of ombre with some acrylic powder. We sprinkled the nail thoroughly with the Fashion Clear acrylic powder. We can even do it twice so that the ombre's sticky layer drinks as much powder as possible. We cure the sprinkled ombre in the lamp for 30 seconds. Sprinkling the uncured layer with acrylic will shorten our work time in the next layer. Why? Well, because if we create an acrylic texture that the second layer of ombre will be dabbed into, the pigment won't run off. It will seep inside this structure and lead to a greater saturation of color. Once cured, we dust off any loose acrylic with a soft brush. We apply the colors again, Neon by the cuticle and Bambina Mandarina from the middle. At this stage, we drive the color towards the cuticles. The Master Nail Art 006 will be of great help. We clean the sponge against the purple form again and blend the colors in the same manner as before. So from the middle, moving sideways, then up and down. Due to the grainy surface of the acrylic, we need to push the sponge in a little harder. If we decide the effect is still not saturated enough, we can repeat the whole process one more time. Sprinkle with powder, cure, and add another layer of ombre onto the textured surface. Time to peel off the rubber from the cuticles. Using the slanted side of a wooden stick, we lift the edge of the rubber. We peel it off in the direction of the nail. We don't peel the rubber off at random places because it will crumble and make it harder to remove. We do it very gently in one motion because, as always, when working around the cuticles, we must proceed with care to avoid damaging them. We grab onto the frill that formed around the nail and simply peel it off as if we were peeling off masking tape. If we peel off a little bit and then try to remove the rest, it's possible, anything is possible, but it will take a lot more time. And as always, we're trying to speed up our work, optimize it, and deliver a quicker service. We secure the entire surface with tip-top top coat and cure it in the lamp for 30 seconds. If any leftover residue of the gum lingers on the nails, we'll get rid of it with some cuticle oil at the very end. The fifth trick is the sponge squeeze. If we notice that the tone transition is not up to our standards, we have a solution. We apply one last layer of ombre onto the secured surface. We don't add any more product, we work only with what's left in the sponge. We blend meticulously according to the previous instructions for shading and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We cover the design again with tip-top and cure for 60 seconds. Voila! This is our ombre in all its glory. And this is the end of our episode. Let us know in the comments below which is your favourite ombre colour combo. Don't forget, here every Wednesday. Thanks for watching and see you soon.